Welcome back to you for another very most special yummy update, my friends. So, Bitcoin and Ethereum going through this weekend hasn't been very eventful, but it's not something we are worried about because usually weekend pumps get retraced anyway because there's usually lower volume and it creates what we call the CME gap. Now, if you remember the CME gaps that I've been talking to you about for Ethereum, there is a giant one at 2,600 and then 3,200. Okay, we've already filled this one, which was at 1,700. Okay, so Ethereum's just hanging around here. So yes, once we start, hopefully to move through the month of March and move up, we can start to talk about are we going to get a extended cycle or something else that we might have in store coming later on. This is the US dollar, the DXY, friends. It's hanging around here. It is on track. Everything is on track. Micro and everything seems to be working fine, even though people are saying it's pretty much game over. Remember, we saw US jobs come out, and the jobs data came up pretty okay, actually really strong, really good. But at some point, it's going to give us a big spike. We just don't know when. And just to let you know, right, if the big spike, friends, happens in like, even if it happens here, November 2026, yeah, like, okay, guess what? That's still November 2026. Wow. At some point, that's just like, this gives us plenty of time to complete a cycle. Also, just to let you know, if you overlay the stock market with these unemployment spikes, the stock market has usually bottomed by around here, which is kind of funny. Yes, the stock market has bottomed when it starts spiking up, which is kind of crazy, but that's the stock market. It's good at front running this stuff out here. So by the time there's a bit, the stock market crashes first, and then the unemployment spikes later, and everyone's like, oh, if things are getting really bad, then you have what we call the disbelief pump in stocks, because everyone's like, hey, how's the stock market going up when everybody's losing jobs for the next 6 to 12 months? This, like I said, the disbelief pump, because the market is good at front running the future. Now, what's going out here in PulseChain land? Well, you have Brandon B saying, I'm sorry for ever having shared this bullshit, talking about PulseChain sacrifice because there's been a lot of pain and misery. And I get some optimism here, friends. This is you, the highest value content in crypto. I wonder if one day we'll see people say they wish they bought PulseChain below sack price. I know I've been waiting a very long time. All of us have. I'll play some PUBG music for us. Now, we all have been waiting as well, but what have we been really waiting for, man? We're waiting for business ISM to go up. Business ISM has not gone up, friends. Business ISM is now 30 months in the pooper. It's been a very long time. The worst in 45 years. Has not had business ISM hitting 52 plus. Maybe this has one big nice thrust up. And if you recall from my recent videos as well, you really should watch it, friends, where it's called Longer and Harder. It's about the case for an extended cycle. Whenever we hit business ISM 52 in the past, pretty much the earliest that Bitcoin tops is 10 months, okay, from business ISM 52. So 10 to 18 months, okay? The earliest is 10 months. Well, we haven't even hit business ISM 52 yet. In fact, we're like at 48 to 49. We're garbage. All right, so if we hit business ISM in like, July or August, just think about what that's going to look like as we move on here. Another 8 to 10 months after that point, it's bringing us into 2026. Also, you have GTA 6 has been delayed to 2026. And then major loser, Jerome Powell, his term ends in May 2026. So we'll see. Where do you think PulseChain is now? It's over. We're back. We're so back. It's over. Feels like it's so over right now. And then we're going to get some sort of thrust to show us it's back soon. But it's probably going to coincide with Ethereum rising. What's been cracking on for the rest of cryptocurrency? Well, friends, here we have my friend, Mr. Squiggly Hairshank, saying, Dear Jesse, so this is the guy, I think he's one of the Coinbase developer dudes for the chain. I forgot exactly what he is. Product manager, Coinbase guy. He goes, I used to like you a lot, Jesse, because I thought you were a genuine builder. But after your Zora grift, I lost a lot of respect. In fact, I despise you. You tried to convince all of crypto Twitter that your mid-curve stupid idea to tokenize content on Zora as opposed to yada, 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 yada. So pretty much token price goes down. So what was Zora? I think what they try to do is you can make a content tweet and there's a token for every tweet. So it's like, that's what's happening, friends. Now we can tokenize anything. People are tokenizing any figment of imagination mindshare. Is that a good idea? Well, it's just like the internet, right? Anybody can write anything about the internet. Anybody can make a journal blog. And so you really do get anything and everything, right? So yeah, and the top 0.01% are worth paying attention to, and everything else is poop. Coinbase trying the whole pump fund JPEG trash route. It's not working. Why? Because demand for everything is low, friends, across the whole crypto cycle. But also there's too many coins you're just never going to hear of as well. So that's why, friends, we hope we get some sort of justice this decade at some point. Memes, cults, religions, right? Sticking in mindshare, digital nations, getting everybody to wear the flag. That seems to be the path. That's what Bitcoin followed. So hopefully everything starts to follow that as well. If you're curious as well about the status of our friendship, I have Bitcoin monthly returns here, and you can actually sort it here. So if you go to MarY here, friends, see MarY's average plus 7%, but if you look at June, July, August, and September, so you see, look how garbage they are. The average is a negative for June. Okay, for July, it's only plus 7%. For August, it's only plus 1% dog shit. And then September is minus 3%. So it's just pretty much, that's why the whole sell in May, go away thing has been appropriate for the stock market, right? And we're just the kind of like, leverage playing on the stock market. Then we might have some like, disconnect rally at the end where everyone says, no, we're not correlated to the stock market. That's exactly what we want, friends. That's why I am here tweaking my nipples every single day for us. That's how you have the end of the bull market appear. Euphoria, where everyone goes, well, we're not linked to the stock market at all, baby. Nothing's ever going to get us down. And then whack, that's exactly what happens, okay? Eventually after that point. But we need everybody to disconnect belief first. And that's why it might do us some good when Michael Chad Saylor turbo buys $84 billion more of Bitcoin, which he's seeming to do. If you're checking for the month of MarY, the month of MarY, friends, plus 7% is the average. And look what's happened before, 3s and 7s. It's very hard to gauge anything. It's only very, very rare that we actually have a decent big move. But also Bitcoin, man, it's been a long time since the ultimate altcoins have rallied. Now, as well, friends, Ethereum recently has lost a lot of Jeets, which is good. Look at this. Ethereum, a whale who received 76,000 Ethereum at its 2015 ICO sold his remaining tokens. So he paid 31 cents for his Ethereum. So 17,000 times 31 cents. He paid $5 grand. Wow. And he sold for $25 million. So this guy's fluked it, right? Also funny, someone saying, Toby, is Richard Hart done selling? It's kind of funny. Everyone thinks everything is Richard Hart because his mind share is so effective in everyone's brain out here. So yeah, here we go. Mr. Fear is lying. Holy Jeet. That is insane. Yes, cheated my ETH bag. So yes, it's what, look, a lot of people just given up. And like, look, I don't care how rich you are, bro. I don't care. You're a Jeet. You're a stinky little Jeet. You suck and you're trash. You are selling Ethereum after this, but it's kind of funny. This guy bought in the Ethereum 2015 ICO. This was the Ethereum ICO price. See this line? So he watched it go up 223x against Bitcoin. And now it's all the way back down to 28x. He's getting out here, right? He's literally, after 4 years of watching it go down, he's done. It's good though. It's good. You need to get rid of this exponentially large amount of supply for us to move on and pump. Now, I'll play some angel music for us all, friends. Let us continue finding some friendship. Hope your slippers are remaining fluffy like my arm. I now have, remember, PulseChain update, friends. So earlier what happened, got to cover this for you. So PulseChain just immediately smacked down like 15%. Okay, literally just a 15% smackdown. This is, hasn't seen Pulse itself. Everything's bonded to Pulse, down 14, 15%. PulseX 14, Inc 10, Hex 7, 6, and then like pDAI was like -6 now. But maybe by the time it's moving up currently as we see, but things are starting to slowly like recover. Off this kind of funny out here, pDAI is actually the only thing green now. Funny. So it's very interesting, right? After seeing these events and these moves, how these things react. So what's been actually happening with this? Okay, Cattie dumped $500,000 of Pulse and she bridged out. Okay, you're like, whoa, where'd the 500K come from? Now, I don't know exactly where it exactly came from. People have checked on chain. There's thousands of things to go through, dude. There's thousands. They change every 15 seconds, okay? Since everything is bonded to Pulse, the whole ecosystem is as well. So here's Cattie, friends. So here's Cattie, okay? Cattie, I know, it's quite fitting, right? Dressed like a witch. It's got like this satanic type of like horns and stuff out here. So Cattie is, from what we gather, okay? She's a hired mercenary who was most likely paid to kill pDAI. We do not get straight answers, so we have to fill in the blanks ourselves, okay? Since Cattie was permitted to win the PulseChain Maker DAO auction, so there were auctions going on, the Vietnamese kid with his big fat dong, who's now disappeared, Scam Long Dong, is like Scam Long gone, okay? Who was bidding and exploiting, quote unquote, right? The chain, they just stopped and let her win. They just let her win it, right? very interesting, yes. And you're like, oh, that's really weird. Friends, it's literally, and I'm not making this up. Let's say a thief is robbing a house. He's in the vaults, in the basement, okay? And then another thief walks in, and another thief goes, huh, there's a lot of gold bars in this safe. I'm going to take it for me. All right, and that first thief who was in there was like, please, my friend, please, take this money. I took the risk to get in here, and now you can come in here and take it. You see how weird that is? See how very, very weird that is? How unrealistic that is? That's why they're like, hey, that increases the odds there is some sort of orchestration here. Okay? To me, anyway. So since she was permitted to win the auction by the PulseChain pioneers, this leads the community to speculate that she is some sort of hired mercenary and being paid by Maria, Atropa Dev down the line. Okay? There is no direct link to Richard Hart. I guess he wants it that way. We don't know. We're all just guessing. Okay? We're all just guessing. We don't know what's going on, friends. Okay? But guess what? Like I say, man, I'm not just saying I'm just telling you, if you're holding Bitcoin early, you don't know what's going on either. Satoshi left. There's inflation bugs that's happened before. You don't know, okay? Like, Bitcoin did have an inflation bug. Just to let you know, all right? At the start. And you got to remember, Richard Hart holding in 2012, 2013, 2014, okay? You got to remember, Satoshi leaves here, and there was an early inflation bug. So even as Richard Hart, his portfolio is now worth 50 million, 100 million, 150 million, like 300 million, yeah? Now it's probably worth 5 billion something, right? But at that couple hundred million, you got to remember, even he has to sit through the FUD that Bitcoin might have an inflation bug. Because it happened before, it could happen again. You just wake up one day, there's inflation bug, it's all gone to zero. And it will never recover again. Or it could take 10 years to recover. Like, you lose $300 million of value, and then how long is it going to take to recover that? You've never seen anything like that before. It's literally never happened. It's Genesis coin, man. Genesis blockchain. Do you see, to understand the uncertainty you have to go through? That's like us now. You're like, oh crap, someone might have a big supply. Someone might have 10 billion pDAI. But what she did do, Cattie. So Cattie dumped $500,000 of Pulse and sent the whole ecosystem down now. It was bridged out of PulseChain and Tornado Cash siphon. So it was rotated into Ethereum. It put into Tornado Cash to disappear. Okay, now we don't know what's going to be, what happens with it. So basically, Cattie raided PulseChain MakerDAO and then dumped pDAI 99.99% and used some of that money to buy the Atropa ecosystem up. So this is just pDAI, right? So this was it, yeah. It went all the way down. My gosh, 99.94%. There you go. All right. Now, here she is again, just showing you. So we do not know if that 500K of Pulse, whatever, if it was simply just a payment for the job, right? Or if this is some part of the plan where the money is bridged out and it's going to get rotated in again. We don't know. You know, like, it could be bridged out. It's, you know, it's sitting in Ethereum Tornado Cash. So it's actually in ETH now. You never know. Maybe it could be the plan is when this thing, when Ethereum goes, it's 1800, when it goes to like 3600, 2x, that 500K is now $1 million. Maybe it bridges in and it starts smacking everything up higher. It could be that. I don't know. We don't know. But it also could just be their payment, right? And that might be part of the deal where, so obviously, we have to just speculate, right? Maybe she's working for Maria and the deal is, okay, if you do all these instructions, your payment is $500,000, okay? Because it seems like that's the right amount, yeah? Because it was like $2,000. You're like, I don't care. You might just like rug everything and just do something weird. But they might say, hey, your payment is $500,000 if you do these instructions. You are no NDA. At any point, I have the right to like maybe not pay you at all. So you have to follow these instructions. That could be it. We don't know. Okay, we're not told anything. Probably by design. Because telling you something gives you certainty and it just undoes all the dumping. Okay? Because that's why my perspective is, why was it dumped? My perspective is it was dumped because Richard Hart's worst case for Ethereum is now lowered. Okay? I always believe this dump was happening and it might have happened earlier at a higher price, but this just took us all the way down because Ethereum's worst case isn't like 17,000 anymore. Maybe it's only 8,000. The pDAI community right now does not have a favorable image of Cattie because of this uncertainty, so everyone is navigating the shadows together. Right now, Atropa has expensive premium ratios against pDAI because it was an artificial forceful move up. So this is the Atropa ecosystem chart, friends. So you can see on the chart, there is no market demand for Atropa at these artificial fake ratio prices, or that Cattie or Maria has forced it. So the ratio used to trade at like, 5 to 7. Okay, this is Atropa versus pDAI. It spiked all the way up to freaking 150. And now it's sitting at around 35, 34, okay? So every day this thing is ticking down. Tick, 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 tick. Why is it ticking down? Well, they've tried, obviously Maria, hey, I'll push my ecosystem up. So we don't know, friends. Apparently Maria in some of his streams, he has said that we need the ratios to be this way. No one's been able to figure out why. Why do the ratios got to be that way? We don't know. He just says they need to be this way. But some people just say, hey, it's some mathematical complex equation from NASA scientists, stuff because he worked for NASA or whatever, or he wrote for them. I'm not sure. Some NASA affiliation. So they're saying, hey, you're just too smart. You can't figure it out. But like, bro, they're just ratios of spreads. Like ETH-BTC, right? And you can put a ratio, but if the market doesn't accept it, it won't accept it. Which is exactly what's happening now, by the way. Like, there's no demand for Atropa up here. So that's what happened, right? When Cattie sold pDAI, I'll show you on the 1 hour chart. When Cattie sold pDAI here, okay, when Cattie sold pDAI, on that wick up here, started buying 20K clips of Atropa. And Atropa got jammed up. And now there's a new like ratio set. And that's why everyone was like, weird. You're meant to be exploiting, but now you've gone and bought Atropa with money. That's why it could be that James has paid her to do something like that. But here's the thing, man. No matter how you spin it, it's been the pDAI liquidity pool that everybody is here on PulseChain for. That got robbed, and then the money got put into Atropa. So everyone's like saying, oh, that's why there's a few people still believe, oh, it's benevolent, it's nice, it's cool. It could be benevolent, friends. It could be just part of the orchestrated plan. But the normal perspective, but people saying like, wait a minute, bro, you dumped my coin 99.94%. And the other coin dumps 99% as well. Then you just buy back that other one, and they're all both net down. They're all just still wrecked, right? You've shifted a ratio, but money has just been transferred from one to the other. And by the way, Atropa, you have all the coin access to. That's what everyone's perspective is as well. Also, friends, many other ratios like like Bear and pDAI are also ticking down. And pWBTC to pDAI ratio has also been downtrending since that moment as well. But they are still like quite high. I'll show you now a very family-friendly way. This is pWBTC to pDAI ratio. It's on a daily. See how it hit the top of this range? And yes, it did spike up here. Remember, I was in my Telegram and Twitter, I was showing about the ratios. Actually, it came back here as well. It was trading like 400,000-500,000. Okay, so this thing's really still high, man. Still high. I do think one day, friends, it does come back to this channel. And it trades like, you never know, like it even pokes below it and like scams everyone or something, like down at 30,000. Trading at 300,000 right now. So yeah, I do think at some point there'll be a 10-to-1 overperformance of pDAI versus pWBTC. But where would fair value look like as being? Probably here. Probably like 90,000. This is around the Bitcoin price. So that's like still a 3-to-1 difference. Okay, so you can do what you want with that. I would do something like, hey, shave off, like 20%, 10% or 20% or 25, 30%. And then if it like stretches up higher, if it does, remember it's had a couple of stabs anyway. Like this is giving you sign that these are the stabs. You know what I mean? It had like, do this. It's stabbed up 1, 2, 3. And you can just see people like dumping the crap down as well with pWBTC. So how does that ratio, how does this thing come down? Well, it could be wrapped Bitcoin just drops 80%, that could happen. Or pDAI can rally like 30x, and then pWBTC rallies like 8. That's one way. So pDAI rallies 30 and pWBTC rallies 8. That would put that ratio down because that's pDAI overperforming, but that's because pDAI is so cheap right now. See? Note that all the pDAI ratios going down simply means that pDAI is too artificially cheap against all those pairs. So remember, yeah, friends, I use the word artificial. Okay, I was here every day. I know for a fact no one here's coming to buy Atropa. When people come in, they want pDAI. pDAI. All they can think about is pDAI. It's a cult within a cult. It's all pDAI. It's all pDAI. All of it is pDAI. pDAI led everything. pDAI is a spear. Everything to do with pDAI. Okay, we get it. Okay. pDAI was the first logo on PulseX exchange. pDAI is 555,55x tooltop. You see what I mean? So, and even if you remove all those, I was literally reporting it for you like as it was happening. pDAI was a spear last year, 2024, for like 18 months. When pDAI goes up and stalls, then other altcoins on PulseChain go up. Not related to pDAI, like Tangang coins, HOA, Dick with Butt, the Gopher stuff starts. So, and other things appear as well. So just found that interesting, right? There's a lot of like there's new demand in there from people. So I don't know how that resolves, right? Because here's the thing, you say, so sorry, but that Atropa pDAI, doesn't that mean this thing comes down? Yeah, it could come down, friends. I still think it look, if Maria doesn't do anything, I really think this man's coming back down here. There's no demand there. Like who's going to buy this stuff up here? So that's why you don't know. Just to let you know, okay. Cattie still has access to 10 billion pDAI or something. I don't know the real number, but billions, 10 billion pDAI out of like 44 billion. We don't know what they're going to do with it. They could destroy the ecosystem even more. They could literally just dump 10 billion. They could. Okay, so at any point, that can happen. Then you might get some fear and terror in your heart, but yeah, guess what? Richard Hart could use the origin address and dump the shit out of it too. He could. But then you say, no, he would never do that. You don't know that, bro. You don't know that. In Hex's first cycle, you did not know Richard was not going to use the origin address to dump the crap out of the price. You did not know that. Okay, now you feel better because it's been 5 years. Okay, it's cycle 2 now. You get it? Here's the thing though. Cattie told the community she was going to put that 500K of money taken back into the liquidity pool. This has been interpreted by the community as another lie and further wedged more mistrust. Many people have been losing their minds and all have lots of fear of anxiety in general. Okay, so, however, friends, I just want to tell you, even after all these, man, I see 6 red monthly candles for others BTC. It's all part of the same storm. All right? It's all part of the same storm. Also, death threats have been sent to pDAI people. There is something weird about this death threat though, friends. So this death threat from this guy with a weird... His name is British, Chinese, something. And he's got like this crazy... There's this weird like... He has like a crazy face avatar. Like that, if you're gonna death threat, like friends, I get death threats, okay? So I know what they're like. Come at me. By the way, come at me. You sure? You sure you want to do that, huh? So I can deal with death threats, friends. All right. This doesn't seem like a death threat to me. This is someone trolling. I see you scum. Unban me this instance. You know what I'm capable of. I will track you down and deal with you. Don't make me come to Singapore from the UK to dealt with you. You've seen how I lift weights. I can dealt with you easily. You soy Chinese tranny. I will effing kill you if you don't unban me and ban Clout B. Consider this your final warning. So that's a cute, yeah. That's like, like that's, I wouldn't even consider that. I would not even like, this guy's funny. But people are receiving stuff like that. But this is another thing, okay. There is something weird about that death threat. I have received a few death threats. They're not like this. This one seems artificial and forced, like someone was constructing it on purpose. Note that the pDAI extractor meme was posted by Richard Hart, which could also be titled PsyOps. Richard Hart likes the movie The Game, which is a psychological thriller involving people who think they're going to get murdered and played with, only for the protagonist to realize it was his friend at the end of the movie, simply to strengthen their relationship. So yeah, I don't care if you haven't watched the movie because you don't have time. I'm just telling you now, this is more important. Okay, yeah, so that's how the movie is. These people like they get shot at, they get toyed with, and they're like, someone's after me. They find out at the end, it was the guy's friend, and I forgot eventually what it was, but it strengthens their bond together because it's like, like you've passed the test. I needed to know if I could trust you to handle this type of stuff out here. Okay. Also, shout out to my friend Mr. Durty Crypto as well for doing all the summaries and stuff out here, so keep it going out here. Mr. Pony Picture, a lot of the stuff I'm hearing from anti-pDAI people seems forced. Like they themselves hardly believe it anymore, yet they're programmed to repeat pDAI as a scam. Then why did Richard Hart name it 30 plus times? Must not be a scam, bro. Very, very interesting out here. So let me know what you think, friends. I hope you're enjoying the weekend. I'm going to keep tweaking my nipples. Like, subscribe, baby button, and I'll catch you soon.